Hi everyone, welcome back to Work in Progress. We're trying out a slightly different format today, slightly shorter, but we'll still be working for quite a long time. Well, just like through the magic of editing. So today I have a guest, just one, not two. I think we may have been overloaded with guests the last time. So today is a one-on-one with Syaza. Say hi.
Hi.
Alright, so Syaza works here at Wild Magic,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yes.
What's your official title here?
I don't know. Store assistant number 2.
But unofficially, you paint the
Yes.
minis here.
Yeah.
Correct.
Pretty much.
Okay. How many minis would you have said? Would you say you have painted all like up to now?
I've lost count.
Okay, that's pretty good. So when did you start? When did you start painting?
It started when it started when I played with a group of friends. They were playing Descent, the board game,
Okay.
and they had
this
minis.
was back in how many years ago?
I don't know, maybe 4, 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
So I started with painting the minis there. Then eventually moved on to Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Okay. So the minis were just about the same size then.
I'm trying to remember. I think actually here, like this one's actually a Descent mini. So is this one. Everything else is I can't remember if this is a Reaper mini or WizKids. This was 3D printed. So Descent, I guess it's more or less the same. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. So today we're going to do something different. We are going to be painting D&D.
Okay.
We're going to be painting D&D. We've kind of started slightly a little bit. So because February is coming up, Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
So and we don't have any cherubs or cupids lying around. So we thought, okay, let's do let's do archers. So anybody who comes down to Wild Magic here to play D&D and they don't have their own archer like figurines can borrow these.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
In the store, not outside.
Yes, only for in-store you have access to a host of different characters, models that you can use for your games.
Yeah, we
Dungeons
got
and Dragons
archers,
games.
we got mages, we got monsters, we got big boss monsters.
Can you play as a monster?
If you're the DM,
Okay. So as a player, obviously, you
there probably are certain monsters you can play, if I'm not mistaken. But that's up to the DM if they will let you or not.
All right. Okay. So since this show is called Work in Progress, we will start working, and while we're working, I will talk to you. Are you used to talking and painting at the same time?
Don't think I've ever done it before.
Okay,
but
welcome.
first time for everything.
Yes, and welcome to the show. Yay! All
Hi,
right, so
thanks for having me.
Yay!
Why am
so,
I here?
how do you normally start off with like a color scheme? How do you decide on a color scheme? I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. I see posts on Facebook and people go like, "Oh, what color scheme would you recommend?" Or how do you start? How do you decide?
I guess there are several ways. The easiest one is go on Google. I just Google miniature or painting or something like that, and then see what color schemes are available on a figure. If I like it, if I like the palette, I'll go with that. Or otherwise, I will just look at the character and go with how I feel. Like, do I want to go with dark colors, or do I want to go off the norm and make them really bright, even though they look like a shady character?
So like okay, with the D&D you have to come up with your own character, and there's so many like ways to come up with the backstory. So how much does that influence like your color choices? Because your mini, you probably gets painted only once, and then after that they're stuck forevermore like that, right? So
Yeah.
like how much of that influences what they will eventually look like for you?
That's a tough question for me. Let's see.
Like if they had like a very noble background, would you automatically assume that they will wear like tons of gold?
Not necessarily. I guess it does. I guess I think about their personality first.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of person are they, and whether they're noble or not. Are they the type who prefer to wear fancy clothing, or just casual, or they prefer to be in the shadows and wear dark so that they can blend in order to murder someone?
Stabby, stabby, kitty, kitty. True. Okay. So given that, do you feel like when you play a certain character, you allow bits and pieces of yourself to reflect in your mini and the colors that you choose for them?
I guess, yeah, like a little bit now and then. There was a character, was it one of my first? Yeah, I think one of my first characters I played was, what was her name? Lunariel? Yeah, Lunariel. She's a high elf bard,
Okay.
and she's supposed to reflect the part of me that was very naive and trusting. She
So what colors did she like wear?
primarily a lot of white. Primarily a lot of white with like a bit of blue and a bit of gold, because she does come from something like a noble family. And I know she's the type that doesn't like to get dirty, but will do so begrudgingly if it's for the mission.
Oh, she has to. Okay. So then, do your characters then carry some sort of signature from you?
What do you mean?
Like, do they have to have a certain, let's say, color that's yours? Like, a signature, I don't know, pattern, color scheme, or anything like that?
I don't think so. I guess when it comes to me and coloring figures, I just go with how I feel. Like, do these colors represent this character? That's about it.
Okay, that's about it. Alright, okay, that's good. And like when you go online and people talk about color schemes and all this, right? People say, you need to what do you call this? You need to master the color theory and all of this. How much color theory do you know?
Zero.
Zero. Okay, great. We're on the same page there. I know nothing. I'm very Jon Snow when it comes to colors and stuff as well. So like emotions play a very big role in how you paint.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Is that a girl thing?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Because aside from you're probably like the second painter, like mini painter I know who is female.
Ah.
But
Yay.
you probably know more that I've not met.
No,
No, that's it.
I only know me.
What about the friends that you play with? Like, just
Well,
not
I
much.
guess, I mean, not a serious painter, but if it's friends who have dabbled in painting, then it would be Kaza. Yeah, she's the only second
Hopefully she's
female I
watching.
know.
Then would she like to come on the show and maybe talk about her experience?
You'll have to ask her. She's my boss's wife.
Ah, okay, cool. We'll try to get her on board. Yay. Okay, how are you doing so far?
I keep painting the same area over and over.
Why? Okay.
I
What
don't know.
area are you painting over and over again?
No, I'm done. It was just the stupid knee pauldron things.
Right? It's like sometimes you can't tell. It's like, is that part of the pauldron? Is that part of the atau sluar? Or is that like, what is that? And then you go like, when you make the mistake, then you go like, oh.
I guess the problem with me sometimes, even though I put it, like I already painted a layer, I think then I come back to it and I think, oh, not enough. I'll put another layer because maybe it's not thick enough, or maybe it's too light, and my brain thinks I can still see the plastic.
Oh, yeah. And then you go over it again and again and
Yeah.
again. Oh, okay. Oh, just now, I noticed you started with the face first.
Am I not supposed to do that?
No. I mean, there's no right and wrong, but that's what I noticed. Is that something that is like a thing that you do? Do you always start with the face?
Yeah. I always start the face. I don't know. I just feel like I go in then out.
Ah.
It feels easier. I don't know. That's just me. It feels easier because when you start with the skin, and then like you can just let it bleed out, and then when you go back to it to the next clothing item, you can just go over that.
Ah, true. That makes sense. Okay. I think some people would avoid like doing the face first because it's so small and so challenging, so they go straight. Like for me, I didn't. I went with the biggest, biggest possible areas and just like went with it. Now I was like, okay, I'll do the head. I'll do the face last.
I mean, when it comes to the face, the only thing I do last is when I start going for the freaking eyeballs.
Ah.
And then the eyebrows, and then the lips.
But these guys are so much smaller than Warhammer minis.
Yeah.
Which are like 32 millimeters ish. So, and people are already having such a hard time painting the whites on the eyes, let alone their pupils.
I remember, I think I remember someone told me, what? Someone told me when they were talking with some of the people who play, Warhammer? It's like, D&D player, like, griping about how hard it is to paint their minis. And then Warhammer guy's like, what? No, like, no, it's not. And then he shows the mini of the actual D&D, like, oh, okay, you're right. It's because it's much smaller.
It is much smaller. And there is, what do you call this? The amount of details you have to cover, it's so ridiculous. So how do you cope with painting the eyes, the whites of their eyes, dotting it with their pupils? Because that, for some people, they really can't be bothered. So what they do is they just pick the heads with the helmets.
Uh-huh. Wait, what?
Yeah, because some minis have the head options. So because they can't paint the whites on their eyes, so they don't paint faces. They pick the heads with the helmets because then they don't have to paint the eyes.
Oh, right. I see.
But with D&D, you don't have an option. Most eyes are quite there for you to paint. So how do you manage? This is something I'd really like to know.
I guess like the thing is I don't have to I don't have to do the eyes. I just can't help it. I just do it. I don't know. I don't know why.
You say you're magically talented.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm magically talented, because like in the long run, like these things are tiny. Like, and I'm just like some people. I'm pretty sure they have like magnifying glasses.
Oh yeah. You don't.
I do, but I haven't used it.
Okay.
And so for all these years, I've been just eyeballing it the whole time. So I was like,
yeah,
I have to take a break.
Eyeballs.
So yeah, all these years, all I've been doing is just eyeballing it. And I don't know why I do it. I guess it's just, maybe it's just self-gratification and the fact that I can do it. Okay. I don't know, maybe.
So how do you do it? Like, how do you center your brush to the point where it's like spot on?
Find the smallest brush that you can, and then pray for the best. Just very carefully go. Boop. That's about it.
Okay, all right. Do you think you could? Are you doing eyes now?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. Can you show us how you dot or how you do the whites of the eyes? Oh. We'll get a zoom in on this.
Oh gosh. How? Well, back then I used to start with painting the whole eye socket white, but then I go over it with black for the liner. I didn't have the right brushes then, so what I did was I used shredded toothpicks. Okay. I've heard of this technique. I use shredded toothpicks, and then I go over the liner with black paint. And then I realized I think it's just much easier if I just go over the eye socket with black first, and then fill it with white, and then dot it with the pupil.
So let's try today.
Oh God, why?
I get to see you do this live.
I prefer in the privacy of my own home. Why am I here? Why am I on camera?
Because you're adoring fans.
What fans?
Out there are waiting for you.
Hiya, no drawing fans that I can't see.
You can come to Wild Magic and check her out.
Ah.
Ask for tips.
So wait, why am I going over white? Too late. It's done. I'm doing it.
Okay. Life's too short.
Yeah, pretty much. And what's really annoying, for sometimes the paint doesn't go on. So it takes several tries until.
So it doesn't go on because it's too dry.
Hmm?
So it doesn't go on. Is it because it's too dry, or does it?
I
Load?
guess it doesn't load. I don't know what that means. What, load?
Yeah, it's like the paint doesn't go on it. It's okay. The first sacrifice of the day.
Okay, I just want to make sure I don't get it on the blouse. That's okay. As long as it's not wet, I'm good. I can wash it off later.
Okay, yes. Such positive attitude. At least you don't have to go on a...
Nope. Once again, it's not giving.
Don't give up! Good work takes time. This is probably like one of the
Because
things
one of
that-
my fears is that when I start doing the socket is that I don't want to have too much paint on the paintbrush, because then it'll just be a blob.
True.
And I don't want to have to go over the skin. But I guess in this case I'm just gonna have to.
But even if, let's say, you go over, you just can go over that bit where you went over anyways, right?
That's true. So I guess you shouldn't be afraid to overfill and then
Fix it.
you go back in and then fix it later.
I think that's what people just have to generally get used to. It's like, if you screw up, it's okay. There's always ways to fix it.
Yeah, so over here you can like see it's I kind of overfilled it. And right now it looks really ugly, but it's okay. You can go back and fix it, touch it up later.
Like have the skin go over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a try later. I'll pray that I get it right.
I know, yeah. Oh, and I know you're asking me questions, but I also got a question for you.
Okay.
'Cause-
Okay. Wow, this is the first. Shoot.
Shades.
Ah.
Yeah, because when it
shades.
comes to me and painting minis, I never use shades.
Mhm.
I've never used contrast.
Okay.
I don't understand it. I don't know how it works.
Which is
and-
weird because right now I'm only using contrast. Like the stuff I'm using on my guy right now is 1, 2, 3, 4 contrast colors already as it is.
Ah.
Alright, so you've got a question about shades.
Mhm.
Is it because you don't like to, or is that a preference?
I guess when it comes to coloring in general, I'm just not great when it comes to adding shading because the whole light theory and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm supposed to add the shadows.
With highlights, I can understand it can be tricky, but with shadows, getting into recesses, that's where contrasts just like goes straight into like the folds and the recesses. That's one of the perks of contrast. Some people might see this as like a cheat, but it's like I don't care so long as I get the results I need.
True.
Then it's like, what you're gonna say, right? But this is a trick that I was telling somebody else the other day. If, let's say, for example, you're doing skin and you've already primed his face, like say, for example, right, a white. Like all you need is this shade. It's called Seraphim Sapphire. Or Racklin Flesh Shade is also pretty good. So all you have to do is see how runny that is, right? You just get some, and then just
Dabby dabby dab.
dibby 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 da 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 da. And it just fills in all the gaps, giving you all the shadows that you need, like without you having to work too hard for it. And then you just like let it dry. It's like that. But of course that's not dried yet. But Reichland Flesh Shade, for example, will give him like a slightly like a Caucasian pinkish tone, which is quite nice. So this is it with the hands, where it just like sinks into all the fingers,
Mhm.
and then that's it.
It is like a cheat.
It is, but it's like easy.
Yeah, it's true. You save time,
Yeah,
basically.
it's true, and
Like you
especially
save time. It's cost effective.
yeah, because not all of us can be like full-time, painters.
Master painters that like to do everything traditionally.
Exactly. And yeah, light theory and all this, I'm not great with it either, to be honest. But this helps me to understand it a bit more. It's like, oh, okay, because light doesn't fall back. I mean, there's a lot of other techniques like underpainting and what.
What is that?
It's like where you prime it in like the black and then slightly 45-degree angle with the gray and then directly above with the white. So you create the shadows climbing up to the top of the head.
Okay.
And then when you paint over it, it's like, especially with very translucent paints, those shadows still come up. So you don't have to think too much about, oh, where's the shadow going to be?
Oh. Also, there's like this other thing when it comes to shade in general is that I guess like I never touch shade because one of the things I didn't like about it is that maybe they just like it was just heavy application, but it gives such a wet look,
Okay,
which
okay, I
is
see
not
what you
like
mean, I see what you mean.
not my thing.
Okay. Slow and steady for you then.
Yeah.
That's okay, that's fine. Because with stuff like this, it's like there's no one way to do it. And so long as it achieves your desired result, and that's all you need really. Furthermore, it's like especially when you're just playing, when it's your mini, so long as it looks good enough, I think it's good enough lah, right?
I don't know what I'm doing. I think I need to choose a different color for the sleeves. I'm not happy with this.
That happens.
Yep. Which is annoying.
But you do it anyways.
Why? Oh god. I think you're going much faster than me. Cause
I'm
you're
trying
using.
to catch up. I'm trying to catch up to you.
What do you mean catch up? I barely got.
Because you started so early. I was like, oh my god, I've not touched it.
Again, I usually take my time, and then I found out. Wait, what? We're supposed to get this done as soon as possible. Ah, fudge.
We're trying to do something different today, so we're trying to finish. Because in the previous episode, we never got to finish anything. It was, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna use maybe a limited color palette.
That's one way.
So yeah, whenever I get stuck on trying to figure out color palette, just challenge yourself and maybe go with 3 colors or 4.
Okay, how do you decide those 3-4 colors?
I don't know, like whenever I go for 3-4 colors, I go for either a generic palette, what I think, like say archers, for example. Well, usually I think I tend to color them with greens, reds, browns, different colored browns, and a bit of gold, yellows, or metallics in there somewhere.
Okay, because they're usually quite foresty.
Yeah.
They're hunters, usually.
Yeah, and it's easier for me, and I don't have to think too much about it.
So what sort of characters do you play for D&D?
So far I seem to fall back to either being a bard, a cleric, and when I want to, rogue.
Okay, so you, like, mainly do you feel yourself as more of a support person? Is that why you choose bards and clerics?
I suppose, yeah. I did thought about wanting to go, like going for a more melee class. But I think when we first started at the time, everyone already had a class they had in mind, And after hearing everyone's choices, like they already chose first, and like, oh, well, in that case, I guess I'll just go cleric. Otherwise, we're just gonna
there's no
die.
But that's very similar to actual role-playing games, especially now, like when you have to play online. Because I used to play World of Warcraft, and nobody wanted to be healer. Nobody wanted to be healer, but I only found this out after we started doing like raids and big campaigns and stuff like that. But I felt like I attuned to that support character because it was more of what I was like as a person, so I picked that. But the more games I played, especially online with other people, I found like people really don't want to play support because everybody wants to go in and it's like just smack everything because that's how, you know, they would like to live their life. But they can't.
I think for me, it's more they want to be the one who dish out the most damage. They want to be the star.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I think. But that's just me.
Yeah, when the whole party is like half dying, it's like, who do you look for, right?
Oh God, I remember one time when, yeah, but then sometimes like the thing with supports, if you ever play most games, like say League of Legends, the first rule is kill the support, kill the healer, that kind of thing.
Like they are the squishiest thing.
And as it so happens, one time I played a game and we had who do we have? I think we had 2 melee classes, 1 mage, 2 healers. The thing with this particular campaign, it was a lot of undead and vampires.
So clerics really like stand out in something like that.
Yeah, except it depends on the clerics though, because one, I was a light cleric, which usually involves a lot of fire spells, and the other one is a grave cleric, and they're great when it comes to like getting people back up in a way so that they don't die. Because they have this spell called, what was it called again? I can't remember for some reason, but
there was a spell.
There's a spell, and it's usually touch base. But
so you have to be like really close.
Yeah, but for grave clerics, that particular spell for them, they can do it from far away, at least within a certain range. So they can just like get people back up from like 30 feet away, and they're like fine.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was this one area we went into. We happened to roll really low, and like, bam! Both clerics are down. The mage is also down, leaving the 2 melee fighters. And we're like, oh my gosh!
How do you survive something like that?
We managed somehow. And like we were stuck. Like everyone froze. I started telling like the other players, get her up. They're like, our grave player, get her up first. Don't worry about me. Get this one up first. Because at least if she's up, she can immediately cast that spell to get the other 2 like conscious at least.
Okay. Oh, such a wonderful sacrifice.
And he was, our DM was like, damn it, I didn't get to kill you. It's okay, next time. Why?
You make it sound like DMs are out for characters. Have you DM'd a game before?
Only a few times, and so far, for friends. Oh wait, I have DM for a group before, but that was just a one time for a Adventure League session. Which is like nerve-wracking, because one, they're not friends.
Okay.
They're strangers.
Are they seasoned players?
I'm trying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were seasoned players, but it seems like, well, to me, it seems like they had fun.
Oh, that's good. So here in Wild Magic, you can come and play. DMs are provided. DM stands for Dungeon Masters, right? Have you ever stepped in for something like that? Or is that one of those examples?
Stepped in for being a DM?
Yeah.
So far, no, I have not. But if no one's available, then I would offer help. I will offer my services.
Oh.
Let's see. Yeah, we've got like what? I can't remember how many, but we have a DM group, and so whenever people need to play a game, we usually contact through that group and to see if anyone's available to run a session for them. Yeah, pretty much.
How many DMs would you say there are in real life?
maybe around 10. Wait, no, probably maybe slightly more than 10. But who knows? Like, cause who knows? There might be like other home sessions that we don't know about, and there might be more out there.
True.
I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have done Wild Magic in the first place. We didn't know there were actually more people out there who played D&D. Or at least those who are interested in trying to play.
So you work here, and you know when people come in and out. How often do people have games here?
Let's see. On a normal week, we usually have Wednesday one-shots. Wednesday one-shots are one-off base adventures. And it's like, it's non-committal, it's not a long commitment kind of thing. Because campaigns, they can go on for years.
Okay, because they level up and all this.
Yeah. So that's why one-shots, it's like, I guess it's a good place for new players to start trying out D&D. Or they can try characters that they're not familiar with, or like figure out combinations that goes well with their character. And let's see. So we have Wednesday one-shots.
Sorry.
Oh, did you stop?
This one's still running. It's okay.
Oops.
But just know you have like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
No worries. So you're talking about Wednesday one-shots?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
so
have.
Just from the beginning.
Okay.
Resyncing, kejap ah. Rolling. Rolling.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. So yeah, on a normal week, we usually have Wednesday one-shots. Let's see. Those are one-off base adventures that people can come into play. Let's see. They can try. New players can try out characters they've never tried before. And then on Fridays, we usually have Adventure League.
Okay.
Yeah,
And how different is that?
It's slightly kind of same and slightly different at the same time, where you have to sign up.
Oh, you have to sign up. So how?
Well,
like,
actually, all
well in
adventures you
advance?
pretty much have to sign up, but you have to sign up for a specific account and get, what was that? Some kind of like Adventure League number or of some sort. I'm not great at explaining stuff. Why am I here? But yeah.
Sorry, we had a little segue. We're supposed to be talking about painting, and then suddenly I got really like interested in
Talking
finding
about
more
D&D.
about characters.
Yeah, speaking of characters, here are some of the characters I painted.
Yes. So how did you choose these?
How did I choose these?
Yeah, how do you
let's see.
choose these characters to play?
Well, these two were from the board game called Descent, and actually these characters come with their own character cards. So I already have like a good reference for me to start off from there.
Okay.
So the colors you see here, it's based off their character cards. This girl here, she actually has like a lot of, she has like some war paint and a lot of tattoos. Some of which I didn't follow like 100%, but I remember having to use a toothpick and go pop, 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 pop,
Oh,
pop
for the
for some of the dots, because I didn't have a tiny enough paintbrush for it. This one over here, she was kind of challenging because she also has color inside her dress. Yeah, so there's like sort of a little gradient over there. Then we have these two here. This one I just call her Zelda because she kind of reminded me of Zelda from Hyrule Warriors. That's why the blonde hair and the kind of pink gradient looking dress.
It does. But I noticed an incredible detail with this Zelda character, because if you look really, really closely, you can see like her lacing.
Yeah.
You know, and that is, I have no idea how thin that is. Is that also with a toothpick?
I'm pretty sure it was with this brush. I think it's this brush if I'm not mistaken. And this is like 10/0.
10-0. It's 10 zeros. I can't see it.
Like, you can't see it. How do you think I feel every time I have to start on their eyes? Jeez.
Luckily, they only have 2 eyeballs.
That's true. But yeah, it does get annoying when I try to center it and like, nope, not centered. So obviously,
people.
I have to go over it again with another coat of white, and then fill it in with a color again.
And stab.
I try my best not to get too many mistakes. That's all I can say. Like I paint, I hope, I pray.
But the best part is if you let's say if you mess up royally, you can just strip the paint and then start all over again, right?
You can strip the paint?
Can't you? I mean, I don't
That's
know
a
about
thing?
D&D because it's like with Warhammer, there are instances.
That's an option?
where- Yes, it is.
But then I have to redo everything all
Yes.
over again.
Yes. So what people do is they strip like the really old models. Like, oh, when I started off 10 years ago, this is what my models looked like. Then it was like a pile of vomit. So they strip it, and then now with all of these like refined skills that I have, it looks slightly better. So that's an option for some of us, at least in the Warhammer community.
Well, I didn't know it was an option, so all I could do was just paint and hope and pray I didn't mess
but
up.
so far, you're doing a really good job.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, last before we go, because we're running out of time, do you do commissions?
Yes, I do.
Ah.
Commission, like if anyone wants to get their minis painted, like they can, or other stuff in general, because I've had a few clients who have come by with small statuettes for like an anniversary gift, which I'm not gonna get into. But yeah, for commissions, for speed paint for like any minis, it's just $5 in one go. Like base colors, no shadows, no highlights. But I will try to make it look good because for $5 per mini, I usually try to get it done under an hour. That's my promise for any speed paint. But for those who want it slightly more detailed, and I would try to put in some shadows and highlights, and I always focus a little bit more on the face, such as like this girl over here. Well, not girl per se.
It's a cat.
Tabaxi.
That's okay.
She's a cat girl. The face here. I try to add, make it look good again. Like eyebrows and eyeliner, pupils.
I mean, to
So-
dot an eyeball is hard enough as it is, and then here you are talking about eyebrows and eyeliner.
There's this girl over here, but it's not. I don't know if the camera can catch it. She has like really faint mascara, almost like slightly winged. This is the one that I had to use with toothpicks though. That's why it's like really super fine. Yeah. I wish I had like another sample with me because there was one commission I enjoyed making. It was for a friend, and she's a rogue, and actually she was a character that played alongside this one over here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I felt honored to paint her, and I was glad that that friend was happy with how she looked.
Oh, okay. So do you still play with her and that rogue?
Oh, him?
Oh, him. Sorry.
Actually, the player is a him, the character's a girl.
That happens a lot. Why is that? Why? All right. So slight segue here. Why do men or boys like to go pick up and play with female characters?
Really?
Yeah.
The thing is, as he said before, he doesn't like playing female characters.
Okay.
It just so happened, he decided to have her around. I can't remember what was his reason, but it was supposed to be a funny reason.
Not to catfish anybody, right?
No, not to catfish anybody. It's not to catfish anybody, but in a way, it was fun because he enjoyed he enjoyed the character. It was a character that was created by like another group of players, so he decided to bring that character on board into an adventure. And because it's a mastermind, they're supposed to be super sneaky, and there are like a lot of benefits to some of their abilities for a party. The thing he doesn't like about playing that girl, however, was that one of the other players, his character always seemed to be going after her, and now it seems to be a running gag that whenever wherever Dimitri goes, this one character will follow, no matter what.
The DnD stalker.
Yeah.
That is definitely a world very similar to our own. All right. Okay, so that's about all the time we have.
Yeah, I am so not done.
It's okay. You know why? Because the show is called Work in Progress. So to demonstrate that, let's see how far we've gone. This is not a competition in any way whatsoever. Okay, because I know how challenging it is to talk and
Paint at the same
paint
time.
At the same
Yeah.
time. But this is how far we've both gone.
Blech.
Well, painting and yapping away, but I had fun. I hope you did too. And I hope you guys watching at home in your car, I don't know, because I sometimes listen to stuff in the car, enjoyed this particular episode as well. If you have any comments, suggestions, if you like this format better than the really, really long version, let us know. If you like me having just one guest instead of two, let us know.
Is
And
this one not considered as two guests?
this one might not be able to paint, so the work in progress will have no progress forevermore. Alright, so thank you very much. I'm Nas for Work in Progress, shooting right here in Wild Magic. Hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you very much. Signing off. Bye.
Bye.